And we're starting with the big news this time in West Africa, where the Economic Community of West African States, as ECOWAS, yesterday met over the situation of the coup in Guinea after President Alpha Conde was ousted from office and detained by military forces led by Mamadi Doumbouya. Now, the meeting, which held in Accra, Ghana's capital, and had the attendance of the leaders from the ECOWAS Union member states, reviewed the situation in Guinea in light of the report of ECOWAS's high-level mission in Conakry.
Now, rising for the meeting, the leaders imposed travel bans as well as a freeze of the financial assets of Guinea's coup leaders and their family. Now, the sanctions are expected to put more pressure on the military junta to restore constitutional rule, while calling on the African Union, the UN, and the international partners to help enforce the travel bans and financial sanctions against the junta and their families.
Meanwhile, though, the African Union, as the AU, has suspended the Guinea from all ECOWAS governing bodies and statutory meetings and demanded immediate return of Guinea to constitutional order. And, there's been lots of talk in this one. Let's hear from the ECOWAS dignitaries who really had lots to say on the matter.
The delegation went to Guinea on Friday, the 10th of September, met the military leaders, and saw President Alpha Conde in his place of detention. They have made a report to us, which will be the basis of our deliberations at this emergency summit on Guinea. We are required to take informed decisions on these matters.
The head of state insisted that the transition must be very short. Must be very short. And they even went to the way of clearly stating that the transition should not last more than 6 months. So 6 months, election should be held. This time, the authority decided to go on specific sanction directly to individual. So we are not going to have the general sanction where we impose a ban of traveling, ban of trade, financial sanction on all activities, financing activities of banking and financial sectors. So it's very targeted. That's one thing. By having specific targeted sanction to the member of the CNRDR, we are sending strong signal to all those who are attempted to have this type of idea that this thing, they will be priced to it, very high price.
All right, so strong words are coming from the ECOWAS and the AU with sanctions now threatened for the Guinea side. Now, joining us right now is our correspondent, Joe Hansen, who has been monitoring the situation closely in Guinea. Morning to you, Joe. Strong words coming in from the AU and ECOWAS.
No doubt, Elisa. Very strong words, you could say, and it was expected, although many have come out to say that it is something that's happening rather late. It should have come when the former president, Alpha Conde, was actually rooting to change the constitution and go for a third term. Having been a president in 2005, re-elected in 2010, and October 2020, he was willing to change the constitution to actually fit his plans to go for a third term, and that led to a massive protest and, of course, deaths of many, which eventually led the junta to actually take over. But it's a coup d'etat, no doubt, and the original bloc have come out to say, listen, we're giving you 2 options. The first option is release the president. The second option is go back to the constitutional law and go back to it in 6 months, which means they have between now and March 2022. Failure to do so, as we rightly saw, will lead to the following. One, they would have their accounts frozen, not just the relatives and members of the junta. Secondly, they will also have travel ban restriction imposed on them. So it's the regional blocs coming together now to talk tough. And don't forget that this is the third coup d'etat that Africa is witnessing since 2021. This year in particular, 2021. We saw one that happened in Mali. We also saw the one that happened in Chad, the killing of Idris Deby. And now we're also seeing this one as well.
Right. Now, Joe, you have clearly said some of the sanctions that will be expected if they don't return to the constitutional order that has been on ground. Now, the ECOWAS has called for election to be held within 6 months, as you rightly said, and insists that none of the military leaders should be allowed to contest in the poll. How possible is this call?
Well, as we speak right now, a meeting will be going on from today. The junta leader, otherwise known as Mamadi Doumbouya, is setting up a meeting to talk to high-profile individuals, businesses, not forgetting to speak to some few persons who may have a little political understanding. And he's having that meeting for 4 days to see how he can actually return back to the original constitution. So that meeting is taking place now. Prior to that meeting, you already had the AU and of course ECOWAS visit Alpha Conde at his place in Conakry where he's being kept, and they signified and identified that he's actually in good health and in good spirits, so to say. Although he had come out to mention while they met him, a scribe of the ECOWAS said that he kept saying that he is still the president. But the junta is faced with a steep, a very tough one as we speak right now, and that has to do with internal pressure. So the opposing party are actually saying that Alpha Conde should not be released for fear that he is a powerful man. He's got connections in high places, and if he is released, he will go ahead to revenge. So this is what they're faced with. But the good news is the junta is already meeting with high-profile individuals in the society and also in the country to see how they can return back to the constitution.
All right, so Joe, finally we have the AU and the ECOWAS regional bloc coming to make statements and strong words. Many might say perhaps a little too late. You did mention about the scribes seeing Alpha Conde, who we've not heard from, but giving quotes saying Alpha Conde insists that he's still the leader of the country. Well, how do you think the military junta led by Mamadi Doumbouya will react to these new strong words from both the AU and ECOWAS? Has there been a response on the military camp?
Well, the only response came a few hours after that statement was made, and that response was seen carried out in action. By action, we mean that Mamadi and the rest of the junta team came together and started holding meetings with individuals in the society. One of such individual is a big name who actually pulls a lot of strings in the oil and gas, in the gold, diamond, and all that aspect of business that Guinea has. And he's having these discussions with them, telling them what they need to do and also listening to them. So it seems that Mamadi is not just one who wanted to carry out this coup d'etat, but one who aims to have a change in the society. So he's willing to listen to the regional blocs. He's willing to condescend and carry out what they've asked him to, but he's also doing his best. So he has 4 days. He has set up 4 days in Guinea, starting from today. Hopefully, it will last up until next week before he would make a major statement on how this constitutional plan will be carried out.
Constitutional plan and perhaps a return to civilian rule transition. 6 months, they say. We'll watch and see how it goes. But thank you so much, Joe Hansen, for monitoring the situation out there in Guinea for us right here on News Central.